Recall that current is the flow of electric charges from one point to another. In electrostatics, we explored how charges are produced by friction, by contact, and by induction. Today, we use many devices that require the constant flow of electric current for their operation. And we cannot use charges produced by any of the above methods to power these devices because of their unreliability. And this is where electrochemical cells come in. An electrochemical cell consists of two different metals in contact through a liquid with free-moving ions. This liquid is called an electrolyte. To learn more about this and how it works, check out our chemistry lessons on electrochemistry. A battery is formed when two or more electrochemical cells are connected. There are two types of batteries. We have the primary cells and the secondary cells. The major difference between the primary and the secondary cells is that the chemical reactions producing an electric current in a primary cell are irreversible, while those taking place in the secondary cells are reversible. This is why secondary cells are also known as rechargeable cells. In order to make primary cells produce electric current once again, fresh metals and electrolytes must be supplied to these cells. In this lesson, our focus will be on the primary cells. So quickly, let's explore the primary cells. Alexander Volta was the first to invent the first true battery, which was known as the voltaic pile. The voltaic pile consisted of pairs of copper and zinc plates separated by a layer of cloth or cardboard soaked in brine, piled on top of each other. The brine, which is salt water, acted as the electrolyte. This battery had some technical flaws which didn't allow it to last for more than 1 hour. And as in all fields of scientific inquiry, this obstacle was not a big deal. Ways were simply found to circumvent these problems, and the process of invention and improvement is still ongoing today. Let's take a look at examples of primary cells. Let's start with the Daniell cell. The Daniell cell is a primary voltaic cell that consists of a copper container filled with concentrated copper 2 sulfate solution. Inside the copper container is a porous or unglazed earthenware pot filled with dilute sulfuric acid and a zinc rod immersed in the acid. The zinc rod acts as the negative terminal of the cell, while the copper vessel acts as the positive terminal of the cell. This cell has an electromotive force of about 1.08 volts. Let's look at another type of cell. The Leclanché cell is a battery that was invented by the French scientist Georges Leclanché in 1866. The battery was made up of a carbon rod placed in a porous pot that contained a mixture of powdered carbon and manganese dioxide. The porous pot and an amalgamated zinc rod are placed in a glass jar containing saturated ammonium chloride solution, which acts as the electrolyte. The zinc rod acts as the negative terminal and the carbon rod is the positive terminal. This cell has an electromotive force of about 1.5 volts and is only used where an intermittent current is required. The chemistry of this cell was later adapted to manufacture the Leclanché dry cell. This is made up of a zinc container as the negative terminal and a carbon rod as the positive terminal, surrounded by a mixture of powdered carbon and manganese dioxide. The mixture helps remove the hydrogen liberated from the carbon rod. This is separated from the zinc container by an ammonium chloride paste, which serves as the electrolyte. The whole cell is covered by a plastic seal with space in its middle for a brass cap that covers the carbon rod and acts as the contact for the positive terminal. A cardboard disc separates the carbon rod from the zinc container. The electromotive force of a dry Leclanché cell is about 1.5 volts. The chemical reaction that takes place in the dry cell is the same as that of the wet Leclanché cell. However, the dry type is more portable, and it is used in many types of equipment like electric torches, wall clocks, and transistor radios. Keep learning, and bye for now.